I'm doing great, thank you. Great to be here for the milestone event, and yeah, hopefully we can have a good one. Yeah, I did get to tune in to the end of the race because it was so long, the longest in ARL's history, in fact. And yeah, it was nice to see MNK boy perform under pressure there in the late laps. And another really fun factor of that race as well was just the weather. The dynamic came to us and said, "Hey, let's just spice this up a bit." And inters weren't working really, and the slicks weren't working, so it was a balance on the crossover point for all of the race. And yeah, it was very bizarre, but hopefully a better race today in terms of an improvement in finishes. Obviously, one thing that will be difficult is track limits that aren't really a fact, isn't really a factor, I should say, at Singapore. But yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yes, they can. Okay. Right. That's good. Because I knew what the problem was and I fixed it right away. I didn't want to have another problem like I had on GSR where I didn't know what the problem was and didn't know until after the race. But hey, I kind of was talking about the 100th race and everything else. Most importantly, the 100th race. And yeah, I apologize for kind of missing out there at the start. It's my apologies. Well, Mexico last season was where the championship was clinched by Davis. Rapalucas won on track. And Just Dylan Boy returned to the podium after a long hiatus of him not even being on the podium. A lot of things happened in last season's race as well. Sink was on first podium, got penalized after the race for his lag. Patriot was on the podium originally, got penalized for his retaliation crash that he had. A lot happened in this race last season. There was a crash in the opening lap, even before we got to turn one. So expect a lot of chaos in this race. And talk about last season quickly. I know you're not too familiar with last season's race, as you know you're used to commentating the usual Tier 1. But Tier 3 though last season, from what you remember, from what you know.
I did watch that actually, and obviously the first thing that comes to everyone's mind is the start crash. Reserves have been warned today. Just don't do that. Don't even try. It's a super wide, long straight. So obviously, hopefully, no repeats of that. 5 DNFs in that one. Mostly from the start in that 25% race, but. Yeah, Davis clinching the championship is basically secured a position in Tier 2 from that. We knew what he was capable of all season, and yeah, you just knew from there, once he clinched a championship, there was obviously no stopping him, but we then went on to see what he could do in Tier 2 this season, but yeah, Dada Lucas, Rapper Lucas currently, that's what he was known as at the time, P2 in that one, and then Justin and Boy third, which, yeah, to be honest, I'd completely forgotten about, so a nice name to mention.
Yeah, it hasn't been the best season for Dylan Boy, and I actually had Matty Mumu kind of help out in the admin chat earlier with something about what everything would look like without Bennett in Tier 3. And literally, I pinned it in admin chat because I thought it was interesting. Just Dylan Boy would have 2 podiums, which he kind of has just 1 right now, which was at China. And, yeah, it's crazy to think about that. I don't know who would be leading the championship if that's the case, but obviously the most podiums by the guys then at that point would be Squid at 4, Arthur at 4, Hissy at 4, all tied. So, kind of interesting to bring up there. And all those guys got podiums in the Belgian Grand Prix, so, well, with that being said, with that being implemented. But, regardless of that.
Excuse me. Oh.
Well, here was the guys who made their first starts in this race last season. Thrasher got demoted down to Tier 3 for the last 3 races last season. Okay, and he was on for a good run. Well, you may see Fruticos is running this race. Fruticos is in Tier 3. Now, the thing with Fruticos is that you could very much claim he wasn't fast for Tier 2 at all. He really wasn't. He wasn't even on the pace. Wasn't going to get a points finish. And now he's kind of contending with Bennett right here. You could maybe say Bennett might not be pushing as much because the championship's clinched and he's happy where he's at, but he wants to get the Constructors' Championship today for McLaren, which could be clinched, as well as the combined Constructors, which could be clinched sometime this weekend, and should be this weekend, because if it's not, I'll be shocked. All they got to do is just keep their lead and beat every team. As simple as that. Regardless, first starts in this race, just for the coast. As well, returning to reserves, Evil Matrix, Burning Man. You also have as well Arthur, Formula 1. That's a different gamer tag of his. That's JSC Kart, as you may know, or PIR Arthur. Pira Arthur. Alpay returns as reserve. Blue Gagito, full-time spot. Many names. GSR CJ Pants, who got, I don't know if you want to say dropped from Racing Point, but we'll keep it at left Racing Point. He now goes to a reserve spot, and he is in Williams. And, obviously his last race was in Belgium. He came back from the race ban, and, now he's racing Mexico. But to Tier 3 points, obviously Bennett's far out in front. You still have a good battle, behind that in the point standings, for second place between Hissy, Raptor, Squid. And you also have Black Raw kind of closing in there. And then you also have as well the Constructor standings. 2 teams are eligible to take in the fight in the Constructor standings. All McLaren have to do is not get outscored by AlphaTauri by 10 points today, and they win the Constructors' Championship, which seems very easy considering where both McLaren drivers are at.
Yeah, and obviously most of those points come from Bennett, a whopping 254 of McLaren's 293 points in Tier 3 have come from Bennett, but, you know, Communist has really been getting there recently, you know, he's found more of the points finishes. He's up to 10th in the Drivers' Championship, so to be fair, he's doing pretty much everything McLaren expects him to, perform, improve, get points, you know. That's basically been their season. Fantastic job by all of them. They can have it easy today, if things stay as they are, with Black Raw. Actually, I saw this in the main chat. Black Raw will not be taking part as he has gone to get a COVID test, I believe I just read. So that is one driver out of the running for AlphaTauri, so it may become very easy today for McLaren.
Black Raw going to get a COVID test, or someone else of his family or something like that getting COVID tested?
Let me...
He specify?
Well, he put, I won't be racing, I got to get COVID tested. So,
okay.
That's all the context I've been given.
Okay. Well, it stands for the coast on top. Bennett, though, is 2/10 up on his time. Oh, he invalidated at the final corner. He was probably going to get pole over for the coast. I do want to check their sectors, though, actually, right here. Bennett, 27.9 in that lap, 27.3. 28.0, 27.3. So this, if they don't get invalidated, if they don't have trouble, this is going to be a close race between Fruticos and Bennett, like I said. Now, people may claim, oh, Fruticos shouldn't have been in Tier 3, but regardless, we've seen really in Tier... Arthur spun. So did the Williams. CJ. No, we've seen, regardless of what people think about Fruticos, of what he's been like in Tier 2, hasn't scored a single points finish. And with him as well, in the races, you could very much argue he's been very inconsistent. So, him going to Tier 3 is not a bad option at all. Bennett being 2/10 up right there, that showed Bennett can still beat him. That showed that, again, Bennett deserves to be where he's at, and I think Hooded Monster just invalidated his outlap as well. But you could argue, hey, Fruticos shouldn't have been in Tier 3. He shouldn't have got demoted, this and that. But, you know, you could then also argue, too, that Patriot shouldn't have been demoted when he was, you know, and Thrasher shouldn't have either. But it was the right decision. And we've seen before Fruticos in Tier 2, it's not been the best of runs for him, but Hungry, I mean, it was just inconsistent at the end. He had 4 good laps, 4 good moments that race, and then just die off at the end. That's kind of what happened with him. He actually ended up being disqualified from that race from penalties. So keep in mind, Milo, Mexico track limits are very, very strict. And you think we'll see someone get disqualified?
I
don't want to see it, but you know,
I can feel it coming. But if you remember back to last season, when originally this tier was on regular, but ultimately because of how lenient the track limits were for example, the middle sector, it resulted in a whole, you know, debate, opinions to go to strict, which is what happened. I think track limits in Tier 3 have been a bit better this season.
Yeah.
So when people get used to them, it's not a problem. Put your practice in, put your laps in, you'll get used to it. Hopefully these drives have done that, and Evil Metrics in the wall, as I'm on board with him.
Apologize for my mic right there. Yeah, I'm looking back at the Tier 3 races this season, and Ditto got a DNR in Britain. The only well, nobody has actually been disqualified this season in Tier 3 for track limits. So yeah, you definitely, your argument right there of it getting better is probably true right there. I remember Mercedes driver Sink and Luke last season. They did a practice session at both Mexico and USA with strict track limits. I think in both their practice sessions that Kagoda hosted for them, both of them were disqualified. Yeah. That's how much you really push the limits when you're practicing for league races. But we have a minute left in the session, and yeah, like I said, a pole point can mean anything for McLaren. Really, even as well, pole point can mean something for AlphaTauri if they want to keep the fight alive today. Oh, what's going on here? Fruticos has gone off track. I think letting someone go. Yeah, that's trying to let Just Dylan Boy go, but he's not going. He's really wanting to get another lap in, but that's behind him. So here we go for the final flying laps. There's some people still in outlaps, but Milo, this track, we've seen it before in real life F1, Verstappen and Ricciardo. It can get close at the end of qualifying.
It can get close, so I think if you're watching, you should stick around for this final 30 seconds.
Maybe more.
Maybe more. Yeah, time glitch. Shh.
Well, regardless, you have Florian Foley coming to the line. This time he's on an outlap. Blue Guggy just got that lap in, but you have the Racing Point. That should be Hooded Monster coming to the line. He is going to try to get one more lap, and he got actually invalidated right there. The Ferrari of Hissy entering the final sector was invalidated. Going to try to get a lap in here. Actually going to go to the pits. The Renault, though, that should be dominant square into the final sector. Going to try to start a lap, but the checkered flag is complete. Think he's done. There's an Alfa Romeo behind Aaron Ocon, though. A lot of penalties this season on track limits. How can he go to the line? He actually improves to 8th right there. Not bad whatsoever for Aaron Ocon. The Williams driver, CJ Pants, stays 4th. And everyone else who crossed the line right there stays where they do. Same with Florian Foley. The McLaren driver, that is going to be Communist coming to the line. Bennett invalidated. Communist done with qualifying. But you also have Fruticos goes even faster.
Oh!
Just Dylan Boyd is 2nd. Blue Goggy is still on the lap. Gonna try to improve to the top 10. Raptor as well invalidated. But Blue Goggy gonna try to improve to the top 10. He could get a top 10 for Red Bull. That'd be a great story. So close. Just off a Thrasher. Well, it's Just Dylan Boy as well in the front row at Fruticos. It's our 5th different pole winner of the season. And I know many,
6/10.
yeah, many, I was going to say many arguments will come that Vertigo should not be in Tier 3 and all that, but, you know, you have your own opinion about it. That's just the way it goes. So, yeah, I'm just looking at main chat now. Well, yeah, it is qualifying over. It's a 5th different pole winner of the season. You know, back in season 2, or yeah, season 1, I apologize. There was 4 different pole winners of Tier 2. Yet there was only 6 qualifying sessions because of the races. Last season in Tier 3, there were 6 different. With this kind of less competitive season, we'll see if we can get that number more than we had last season in Tier 3 or equal it. Fruticos on pole, Dylan Boy second, and then the rest of the lineup is there. I can't count, so yeah, I think that's simple because, you know, that lineup going away very quickly.
We've also got to quickly mention just the front row.
Wow.
We're fully aware that he got that podium last season. Mexico is a very strong track for him.
If I'm being honest here, and I'm saying this in the nicest way possible, you look at this season, though, besides the first 2 races with Dylan Boy and Italy, he's not really been anywhere. He really hasn't. And him turning it up to get second in qualifying, that's actually not that bad whatsoever. So he can come on to possibly contend. And we remember Mexico from 2018, the start of the race. You know, just keep in mind, you simply do not want to be starting on the pole because the slipstream down to turn 1 is insane. And hopefully they don't crash off the line like they did last season in this race. We don't want to see that again, but yeah. Yeah, could agree with Speedy mentioned there, but hey, it is the end of the season, and McLaren can possibly get something interesting here. Squid Jr., though, did the Tier 2 race in this league last season in Mexico. He is on the hards as he starts. Communist on the hards. Mediums for Burning Man, mediums for Florian Foley. This is going to be interesting. Now, most people might be trying to go for a 2-stop. Most people as well could be going for the soft to hard strategy, which would be bold. But here is my favorites into this race. I'm going to start off with going with Fruticos. Of course, you cannot count out the pole winner of this race. You know, yesterday in ARL, Aero Racing League, that's Feda's league, he got taken out and said, you know what, my motivation kind of is a little bit low, but hey, I'm going to try to practice this race, do what I can. And right now, he was on pole. Won it by 6/10, you could argue that's kind of Rapalucas stuff from last season, winning the pole by 6/10, but his race pace, we could tell for the coast. I mean, he qualified 3rd last week in Singapore in Tier 2. His race pace has not been that well. So, race pace around here could mean anything. I'm also going to go toward the back of the grid as well. I'm going to go with Florian Foley. He won here in GSR. Last season was on for a good result. He won here in GSR in the rain race that was at the end. This is a completely bone dry race because of real life weather conditions. So Florian Foley, on the other hand, I mean, gotta make up positions. He starts 15th. He won here in GSR. He's gonna have to try to do something to win here in ARL. Milo, your 2 favorites.
I'm actually gonna go with Blue Goggy. He starts 11th. He got the pole position back in Spain. But 11th on fresh soft tyres. He wasn't that well earlier on, I believe. So it'll be nice to see him take a good result today. And I'm also going to go for... I will go with CJ Pants because he's returning from the 2 race ban. You know, he's not had the best of times since that incident, and a 5th place starting position. He's got to get back into it, and yeah, this is his opportunity.
Just want to go with 2 outsiders that we didn't mention. Just Dylan Boy Bennett. Watch out for them. Because this could bring something interesting with those 2. But the 5 red lights do come upon us. I know we're a little bit delayed, but that's okay. Regardless. Oh, that's Black Raw's car. But hey, that's no worries because we're revving up for the 5 red lights. And it's lights sound. Away we go. The slipstream will matter into turn 1 because Fruticos has a good start. Has just Dylan Boy next to him. But you also have the slipstream from Hooded Monster that is in the racing point. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Maybe even 4 wide. But side by side for the race lead. 3 wide into turn 1. Bennett around the far outside. Dylan Boy's around almost. But he saves it. Bennett, though, goes to the race lead out of turn 3 with Dylan Boy behind, with the 2 racing points leading, and there's a crash at the back. That is Fake Fiery. Arthur as well. They got a piece. So did CJ Pants, who's dropped out from the start, but you have Bennett leading into Sector 2, ahead of just Dylan Boy, the racing points. Alpay, Aaron Ocon with a good start. Not so bad from him. Hissy as well behind Thrasher, contending for that is 7th place. Behind that, Evil Matrix gaining positions in lap 1, 2. And side by side for a moment, Square gained a position, Blugagi gained a position. A lot happening into Sector 3.
Yeah, the crash is coming there at turn 3. Oh, through to coast.
From the pole position, it's not been so well for him so far. And here is Hissy down the inside of Thrasher. They do touch wheels. Hissy goes through for now, but Thrasher back down the inside. And Hissy around the far outside has done so, with Thrasher having some wing damage already.
Square around the outside of Blue Goggy as well, as he gets himself up into a net P5, excluding Black Raw. Into the pits comes Thrasher. He had a good battle with Hissy on lap 1. Oh, Arthur
down the order goes
on the pit lane
Arthur.
entry.
You also have Evil Matrix trying on Squid Jr. as well. Squid Jr. did very phenomenal in this race last season. In Tier 2, he's wanting to improve on that. And you also have a 2-second lead between Black Rob Bennett. It's not going to keep that for long, so, I mean, you know why. But it's Bennett from the race lead to Dylan Boy to Hooded Monster to Alpay, Aaron Ocon in the top 5 as well, where he finished last week. But just Dylan Boy has really come alive in the final part of the season we've seen. Look at this race. Finally came alive, but almost losing it off the curb.
Tyre temperatures are very important around here in the middle sectors. Most, if you can take it flat out, then your rear tyres is, yeah, self-explanatory. They get really hot and they can become pretty much permanent in that permanent state for the rest of your stint, which increases wear and ultimately makes you lose time.
Just Dylan Boy almost within a second of our race leader. It's double DRS if I'm correct at this track. So drivers won't have DRS until the next lap, and Evil Matrix has cut the corner actually to get into the pit lane right there. That's not a good start from his race. He can probably get that removed, I assume. But you also have CJ Pants on the back of Burning Man at the back of this train, as well as Raptor trying on Communist. A little bit of a double move, but down the inside Raptor goes. Raptor's gone through. You also have as well, this is for the net podium, really, because of Black Raw. Alpay and Hooded Monster all contending for what could be, as well, a very good result for Alpay, Hooded Monster. If they keep it up today, of course, they can get a good result. Alpay, the reserve driver. Hooded Monster was a reserve at the start of the season. He's already got a 3-second time penalty. I saw that. I was just on board with him. But Alpay, a reserve driver, and, you know, Aaron Ocon with another penalty already. But I've kind of spoke as well to Riles a little bit. And M&K-Boy, you know, I kind of convinced him a little bit. Hey, M&K-Boy's not been active. You want to maybe remove him? And he has. You could then say the same about Riskiest Robin. He's not been the most active as well in this league in the past few weeks. So maybe he might consider giving Alpay a shot in that Red Bull for the final 2 weeks. But we'll see, because now Aaron Ocon is getting challenged from Fruticose Alarm, because Fruticose Alarm has gone through at 5th place right there. Positions trade. Alpay goes ahead of Hooded Monster as well with the help of DRS on the 4th lap of the race. But behind that, it's the race. Well, behind that, it's the Racing Points running 4th and 5th, but you have a battle between Squid Jr. and Floyd Foley. Squid Jr. around the far outside. Can't get nothing there, but has got the line for turn 2, where they almost touch, and he's going to have the DRS now down to turn 4 it is.
Good, clean racing through the first few corners. Raptor goes ahead of Burning Man.
Florian Foley as well in the grass, and they've touched Squidded Jr. and Florian Foley. That's a bit of wheel banging, and you also have behind that a little train from 5 people. Communist, Raptor, Burning Man, CJ, and Fake Firewall at the back of this field. You know, ARL has kind of talked about Tier 4 possibly being created at probably the end of the season. We've seen more people get recruited. And, someone had a slide there. I think that may have been Square. But,
yeah, it was.
And ARL has talked about having a Tier 4 being created and just trying to get recruitment for the league. Fake Fiery's picked up a penalty. Well, I think some of these guys, Burning Man, Fake Fiery, some of these guys could possibly go to Tier 4 and may have a chance there to take some victories. But you have CJ trying around the outside of Burning Man onto the curb. CJ has to kind of let off there, gets a penalty from doing so right there. And Fruticos is also on his teammate into turn 1. That's Hooded Monster.
My worst nightmare.
Now, the last thing you want to see as a Racing Point team leader is your two drivers collide right here, because we've seen it back in Belgium, and we almost saw it again right there. But Hooded Monster stays ahead. Dominant square as well by Blue Goggy. That's for 8th. Oh, CJ tried to go down the inside of Burning Man right there. Burning Man did not give him any room whatsoever to go through. There was a gap, but CJ chose not to go for it, else he would have broke his front wing, which I thought he had damage from one, but CJ doesn't, so I apologize for that. I was looking to see if he did. He doesn't. Conducted one of the GSR Tier 4 drivers from last season cheering on Alpe. You know, they race in the same tier, so I'm not surprised right there. Alpe right now running on the podium, but you have Fruticos and Hooded Monster, who probably want to say something different to that, because right now, Hooded Monster and Fruticos, both Racing Points, get very close to one another. Hooded Monster is pitting, though, on the other hand. He comes into the pits. Fruticos will be in P4, and that is a very early stop for the soft runners, but softs can go, I'd say, 9 to 14 laps. But you have Hissy making a move on Aaron Ocon now. As Hissy goes by Aaron Ocon, Hissy's clearing through. Hissy DNF'd on lap 1 in this race last season, so he's wanting some redemption from last season's race.
Seems like Hooded's gone for the 2-stop strategy and will rejoin in 17th place. Medium tyres go on. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't gone a little bit deeper into the race on those softs. I've seen some drivers agree that 7 laps is ideally the most they want to be pushing them for. But obviously, depending on skill, that could easily change.
Very much indeed. Well, Blue Goggy has just got by Dominant Square right there. Just on the Twitch, I don't know why. I just missed a overtake right there. But Square goes a little bit off track. Might get a warning for that. And there's contact between the both of them. The both of them have spun. And now they're outside the points, which puts Communist back into the points. And Blue Goggy does actually rejoin, gets a penalty for it, and comes right into the path of Raptor and Burning Man, allowing CJ to go through. Fake Fiery goes through, and you have Fake Fiery diving down the inside, cutting the corner, actually. I think trying to avoid crashing into someone, because he was going to miss his braking point. He felt like he may have done so. And Fruticos is well pitting. Burning Man actually got a 5-second penalty from all of that. He gained a place. Evil Matrix got a 3-second time penalty. And Fruticos should be coming out ahead of his teammate right here, I'd assume. Well, he's going to come right into the path of his teammate, in fact. His teammate comes out ahead, so the undercut really working. DRS, actually, for Fruticos.
Who's that in front of that? Oh, that was Blue Goggy with the red X. Thought he may have gone off.
I know Maddie was telling me before the race that Blue Goggy had to have an internet test to make sure he could still race, but there's the Racing Points going side by side into Sector 2. Turn 4, this is they collide! Luckily, getting away with that one, but Fruticos gets ahead of the Monster. Kind of flashbacks right there, back to Belgium from 2 weeks ago, and you have CJ and Burning Man. Oh, CJ touches, goes around. Burning Man as well around the outside of Raptor. This is for 10th. Can't do nothing there. Nobody else deciding to pit. Well, actually, never mind. Aaron Ocon is from the top 5. He is probably deciding for the 2-stop here. Unless he's really going bold with hards. I don't think so. Blue Goggy's actually left the session.
I'll get back in if possible.
Going to hards is Aaron Ocon. Well, you have Arthur going down the order. He has already had some trouble there. Squid Jr.'s got by Florian Foley. And Aaron Ocon is going to come out ahead of Thrasher here. But behind Hooded Monster and Fruticos, who actually tangled. And, yeah, Blue Goggy will have to get back in the session if you can get him. I think you already are now. But, yeah. I've been pinged in the ABS server. Just had to check that. Um, well, not really many battles going on, but you have Fake Fairy overtaking a ghosted car. Burning Man as well. Into the points as things stand. I talked to Burning Man the other day. Me and him were at Blue Goggy's back online now, so you may receive another invite if you can get that.
Yep.
But I was talking to Burning Man. We were playing Friday the 13th, the game last night. Oh, Bennett's speeding from the lead. He's pitted. But I spoke to Burning Man last night, and he said he really enjoyed Tier 3 last season more than this season, because it's not been the best of luck for him as well, and Aaron Ocon gets another penalty. Yeah, it's not been the best of luck for Burning Man. He enjoyed last season more than this season. He's kind of talked about how last season was better for him, especially with the maiden points finish in Britain that he got, and oh, into the barrier. Ow! Goes Burning Man. There's a VSC. I think that's the legit commentator's curse right there. Holy cow. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Well, 5-second penalty already for Bennett. Your race leader. Your net race leader, I should say. He stays just ahead of Just Dylan Boy. He's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's going on to the 2-stop. So is Just Dylan Boy. And the only one on that 1-stop that I've seen so far is Fake Fire and Aaron Ocon. But the hards, unlike Singapore, they don't really last the whole race like they did in Singapore. Honestly, they last, I'd say, about 19 to 25 laps, maybe a bit more. Oh, Burning Man lost the back end, and that's how he got into the wall. VSC should be ending. It's ended now. Florian Foley's on the back of Squid Jr., and Communist on the back of his teammate right there. He may be trying to protect for Just Dylan Boy. It actually picked up a penalty right there, so 2 seconds. Have to split them. Communist might try to do something here. He's second driver. Keep in mind, Just Dylan Boy, not going to go down the inside right there. Maybe trying to see a little bit of Team Orders game, but Communist a little bit slower in the racetrack. Just Dylan Boy can't go by there.
Oh,
I told you. Oh, getting in the
for
back.
God's sake, game. I must be signed into Xbox Live.
Oh.
Damn it.
Let me invite you back.
Thank you.
It's not good that there's probably gonna be lag in the lobby now, though.
Yeah,
because, like,
sorry.
Host migrated, but it's okay. It's not your fault. Well, with that being said, really the net race lead is just Bennett, Just Dylan Boy, and then you have Fruticos. They're on the 2-stop, whereas Aaron Ocon and Fake Fiery not as much. Yeah, plus Barada. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, definitely not. That is a difficult corner with no ABS. I remember last season there was a collision in qualifying between Akimbos and Patriot in that qualifying session between those two last season at that exact corner. So it's a tricky corner no matter if you're with other cars or not with other cars. So it happens. But yeah, Gaggy is getting an online services era. Okay. Well, hopefully we could find out. Hopefully we can find out if we can reinvite him back. But there's Alpay, the race leader, coming into the pit lane. Speeds. I saw that one. He sped in the pit lane. But you have a 3-car train between Florian Foley, Bennett, and Squid. Bennett really wants to get by here. He's going around the outside. Left side, Just Dylan Boy picking up the fastest lap and actually going to have some DRS on these guys. Very interestingly enough. Hooded Monster picking up a penalty, but side by side between Florian Foley stays ahead. Raptor as well. Yeah, Burning Man, if you didn't hear, I commentator cursed you. But yellow flags, that is Evil Matrix out of the race. Bennett goes by Florian Foley. There's a safety car from that.
This will really
so this would be crucial. Yeah. So there's a car splitting Bennett, Florian Foley, and Just Dylan Boy. It's Florian Foley splitting them with them in between. Just Dylan Boy, keep in mind, he won the 25th ever ARL race. What tier was that in? Tier 3, the first ever Tier 3 race. So, trying to win the 100th, Just Dylan Boy. Maybe some good luck on his side for this one. Yeah, I was going to say... Oh, wait, that can't happen. Never mind. I was going to tell Maddie how to get back in the session. I was going to be like, oh, yeah, it's account Blue Goggy, but it don't work like that. Because Blue Goggy is already in the race. It don't work like that, so yeah. Well, coming in the pits this time. Squid Jr. actually stayed out on the hards in last season's race. Waited for a late safety car. Got a decent finish out of it. maybe leads this race right now as we're under safety car.
Hissy's first stint was really, really good. 10 laps on 10 laps there on the soft, so actually 11 if you count the final safety car lap there. So yeah, he did a really good job to take advantage of this situation and actually comes out in 4th on fresh hard tyres. He didn't finish this race last season, but just maybe.
And with Bennett having a speeding penalty, just maybe is it going to be his first win?
Squid
We'll
and
see.
Communist having to pit as well.
Yes, so really, the net race leader out of the people who pitted is really Bennett, Alpay, Hissy. And then you have Aaron Ocon, Florian Foley. Aaron Ocon running in a really decent position so far. You know, I think whatever people mention Mexico and strict corner cutting, I think everyone's going to say Aaron Ocon will probably be disqualified because of the amount of penalties he gets. Well, today, I know he has only like 2 penalties so far. If that's the case, it's not too bad for him. Actually, I think that's 3. That may be 3. No, it's not. It's 2. But yeah, only 2 penalties for Aaron Ocon. A little bit better than he's done some of the previous races. So, a little bit better on the penalties. Still not too bad. And yeah, Gagi needs an invite back
Yeah,
now
I've
if you
just
can get
done
him again.
Yep.
Yep, cool. Yeah, I just seen what Ryle's put in the chat, so I thought yep. Yes, can do a pen check. Just give me 1 second here. Yeah, he's joined back, I see. Squid Jr. 1 warning. Bennett, 5-second penalty with 2 warnings. That medium stint is really good so far, by the way. No, I'm only joking. It's only a safety car. Communist, though, on the other hand, nothing for him. He may try to protect for his teammate like we saw with just Dylan Boy, which he could possibly do with Alpay and the rest of the field. 5-second penalty for Alpay for speeding, that was, I believe.
Yes,
And
it
he
was.
also had as well a penalty before that. Hissy warning. Aaron Ocon 2 penalties. Florian Foley a penalty. Just Dylan Boy a penalty. Fruticos, yeah, penalty for him. Fake Fiery 2 penalties. It's 3. Okay, thank you. I didn't realize what you were pointing at. Yeah, Aaron Ocon with 3 penalties. Sorry about that. No penalties for Black Rod, which he'll, because of COVID tests, everything else, did not return to the session. He'll be given a DNR at the end of the race because it'd be unfair for him to finish in front of everyone else who, yeah, you get the point. But yeah, Hooded Monster, penalty for him. Dominant Square, penalty for him. CJ Pants, on the other hand, has 3 penalties, a decent amount already. Blue Guggy has a 5-second penalty that maybe try to be appealed. He also has a penalty to go with that. Thrasher, 2 warnings. Raptor, oh, holy cow, yeah, I don't even know. Just many. Arthur as well runs in the back, penalties for him, and yeah, that's about it. The Blue Goggy got a 5-second penalty for actually ignoring the yellow flag. That may have been with CJ, that may have been with someone at the back here. I know they got to be wary of Black Raw not in the session as well. But Squid Jr. leads the race right now. But how about, as well, how about people like Communist right now? I know he didn't pit, still on the podium. Squid Jr. kind of stretching out the hards as well. So definitely trying a different strategy here. But how about Alpay as well? A reserve driver trying to finish on the podium. Trying to become, now I need to check to make sure this is right, but I think 14 different drivers on the podium this season. I want to say that's what it is, but if I check correctly here, there has been, yes, 14 different drivers on the podium, meaning he'd be the 15th different driver on the podium if he gets on the podium today. And he, as well, wouldn't be the first reserve driver as well on the podium. Hissy as well right now sits up there. Aaron Ocon 2, Net P4. Florian Foley up there. How about just Dylan Boy? I mean, he's not had a bad start to the race as well. He's had a decent one, but kind of got jumped in the pit lane right there, I guess. And, yeah, not really many other names to mention, but gonna mention Raptor sits at the back here. His only podiums this season, it came off of wins, so he'll try to add another podium to his name, but this time I don't know if he wants it to be a win. I think he wants to at least have podiums that aren't wins. Wins are cool, but you want to have regular podiums that aren't wins, if you know what I mean. And that's true. Speedy Midget does bring up a good point. There will be a few punctures at the end, and that may be the case, since there are people trying to go from hards from lap 14.
There's a lot of
And
debate on that at the moment, whether hards can make it. Yeah. Prepare for a lottery, to be honest, with tyres. Very, very difficult around here, so...
Safety car coming in this time. Squid Jr. is going to lead the pack. There you go, Tommy Karate. Hopefully check that quickly. But Squid Jr. leads the safety car restart ahead of Bennett. He led the safety car restart last season here in Tier 2. Remember, safety cars in this time, it's under the pit lane, but the game may slow him down just a little bit. No, not so much, but a 6/10 race lead already. We saw last season in this race a 4-wide moment on the safety car restart, but behind that you have just Dylan Boy, Florian Foley, Aaron Ocon as well, trying to go wheel to wheel. Florian Foley ahead. Not for the moment he was, but just Dylan Boy back at it. He's got ahead for now. Down the inside of Aaron Ocon, though. Locking up his Hissy. Just Dylan Boy goes through for now. The two Alfa Romeo teammates. Dylan Boy ahead. Fruticos and Square getting penalties. Florian's off the track. That is Fruticos.
Yeah,
Square got by Blue Goggy. Blue Goggy coming back at it. Look at this. Great move by Blue Goggy. Down the inside. Square is damaged. Keep that in mind. While there's this battle for 13th place. Switching back right here. Raptors picked up a penalty as well. Blue Goggy's got through.
That's a nice move from Blue Goggy. Good to see it. Yeah, it all kind of kicked off there at the first chicanes, as it always does at safety car restarts here at Mexico. Florian Foley getting sandwiched, then pushing Fruticos off the track, you know.
Ooh. For third place around the outside. Alpay was trying to go. Communist wasn't going to be easy right there on him. Alpay still sticks behind. You have behind that Thrasher, Black Draw, Raptor getting by Square. We've seen the two Renault teammates collide a few times this season. Not doing so right there. I think Square may have let Raptor go. I think Square fell back right there.
Here comes Bennett.
Restart, but for the lead, you have Bennett on Squid Jr.
He's using all of his overtake.
Yeah, it's almost gone.
Oh, that was nice.
Some people may not see it on stream, but just Dylan Boy as well got by Hissy, but some people may not see it on stream as much, but there is like so much lag on my part from what's going on, especially because that's migrating host, that stuff. Yeah, of course that happened, but
unfortunate.
Hopefully that doesn't happen in Tier 2, but Aaron Ocon trying to go around the outside of Hissy has actually gone off track to pass him. Gaining an advantage from that. You're going to have to let him by. I think he's done so, but he's gone off track again. Trying to go by him. He's definitely at least picked up 2 warnings right there. Aaron Ocon through, but Hissy into the back of him. Aaron Ocon. Yeah, gained an advantage from that.
Yeah, Hissy now losing 2 positions to both Alfa Romeos, so he's going backwards here and not forwards, which is not what he wants.
2 teammates at Racing Point. They swap positions. Here's Hissy on Aaron Ocon down the inside. Can't do nothing there. Was going to try to, maybe trying to get in his head a little bit. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, F1 driver. But just Dylan Boy in the back of Alpay. These two have history from SRS. And as well, earlier this season in ARL, back at Spain. Just Dylan Boy trying to make a move on Alpay. Can't do nothing there. Might be aggressive into turn 1. Yes, he is. Down the inside. They touch.
Oh, contact.
They touch again.
Damage as well.
Alpay's picked up a penalty. And this is allowed Aaron Ocon to come into the mix. This is for 4th place.
Fake
Yellow flags at the back.
as
There's
well.
a big collision. Fake fiery at the back. Just Dylan Boy touching with Alpay again around the outside. Alpay not giving him room. Contact again.
Do you know
Alpay
who
back
wants a
down the
piece
inside.
of this?
So does Aaron Ocon.
Aaron Ocon, look at him go.
Just Dylan Boy has damage though. Oh, comes right back in the pack of Florian. So just Dylan Boy, after that contact with Alpay, is going to have to pit probably. Thrasher goes by. Both Racing Points going through as well, so they're going to be on the back of Alpay. That's going to be Aaron Ocon Hissy. After such a good run so far in this race we saw from just Dylan Boy, it's going to come to an end.
That's unfortunate. It looked like a racing incident at first, but yeah, obviously there'll probably be some sort of investigation into it, and yeah, just unfortunate.
Yeah, may come to retire. There's already been 2 retirements in this race so far. Not going to give up, just Dylan Boy. That's good from him. Arthur as well is on the back of Bulgogi. Arthur into turn 1 with the help of DRS. Arthur might try to make a move on Bulgogi. They're side by side. Bulgogi going to give him the room. Bulgogi lets him go. Smart move from Bulgogi. I think you just keep conservative. You're on softs, you know. You're going to have to pit again, but keep conservative. Try to see what you can do in this race, and maybe you can get a points finish because there's been a lot of chaos in this race. Thrasher's running the points. He made his first start in this race last season. You know, can he maybe get a points finish like he did last season? No, I don't think he got a points finish last season. I think it was 4th. Not 4th. 11th.
12th. I've just looked.
12th. I mean, I'm close enough,
yeah, you're
right?
close. You know, you don't remember everything. You're not superhuman.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, you still have Hissy and Aaron on the back of Alpay, which Alpay is still somewhat catching Communist. Now, did Alpay get any damage out of that collision? No, he did not. Not that I can see. Not any damage that's visible. But between the race leaders, it's Bennett to Squid with a 3-second gap. Arthur's picked up a penalty. And at the back of this pack, 17th and 18th is Fake Firing Dominant Square. But in front of that, you have Fruticos and Florian Foley. Fruticos, all of his battery is gone. Simply gone. Well, you still have Hooded Monster on the back of this pack, too, in the Racing Point.
Yeah, it seems that Fruticos is just deploying all of his overtake. He isn't turning it off. Oh, and there's contact.
Touching. German driver Florian Foley touching again. Florian Foley's going to get ahead, though. He's actually going to stay ahead from his defending. I can tell Fruticos is faster, but I think he's just frustrated right here. You know, just getting stuck behind him, and especially at one of the worst places in the track, and probably in this game to get stuck behind someone. It is probably arguably one of the worst places to get stuck behind someone. Communist kind of has to let Alpay go right there. Alpay onto the podium. Hissy penalty. And yeah, you could definitely argue that the stadium section and the S's are one of the worst places to get stuck behind someone, as we see that's Fruticos running in the back of Florian Foley. Florian Foley actually will not have any DRS whatsoever, so Fruticos, even with the overtake buttons being 0, he's going to have DRS, but it won't even be enough to overtake, as you have Hissy and Aaron Ocon going wheel to wheel into turn 1 this time. Aaron Ocon trying around the outside, trying to give him room. Aaron Ocon staying ahead, and you have the 2 teammates again at it. Fruticos still staying ahead, though.
It's really the ERS usage getting down Fruticos. He's got the pace. He can get past Florian Foley on a straight, but he doesn't have any battery because he's using all of his overtake. And that, of course, invites Hooded Monster, who Thrasher is trying to go around the outside of.
Which has now involved Arthur to get to the back of this pack and get to the back of this battle. He goes off track just a little bit, goes a bit wide. And he's still in this battle for points as well. You know, penalties. I think Hissy said this earlier this week. This race is going to be down to penalties, and Aaron Ocon getting by Communist, who's actually gone off the racetrack. Hissy has to pass him off the racetrack. Yeah, Communist made a mistake, and Hissy has to let him go through. He does so, but there's almost contact. And look at the gaggle of cars here. Florian Foley down the inside. Can't go through, but contact with Hooded. Sorry, that's Fruticos. Fruticos gets a penalty. He may try to appeal that, which I could see being appealed. But he did go off the racetrack in doing so. Here comes Hooded on the back of Thrasher. Thrasher overtook him. So all of that, because of Communist going a bit wide. Here comes Hissy back at it. Hissy gonna go through. Around the outside. Into turn 1. Hissy's gone through. Behind that, it's Hooded Monster and Florian Foley. It's the Racing Point boys against Florian Foley touching again. And all this is just making them lose to that first pack, which involves Fruticos, Communist, and Hissy, which is on really that pack for a podium. Yeah, I know I know John, I think that was, asked if Fruticos' overtake button was stuck open. It looked like it was for a moment. I mean, you've probably had moments, or you've probably heard of moments, Milo, where overtake buttons have been stuck open before. It's happened on this game.
But it's now off. So, I don't think so.
Definitely not anymore.
Yeah.
He goes wide again. He's going to probably pick up another warning from that. But Hissy said it earlier in this week that penalties may come down to this race or may come down to who finishes on the podium or wherever they do. Speaking of penalties, another one for Fruticos.
Communist now in the pit lane.
I don't think he'll be going for the softs, but it'll be very bold if he does.
I think mediums.
Yeah. You still got Squid Jr. who's got a pit, which would probably put Aaron Ocon and Hissy both onto the podium by the end of that. Because he's yet to pit. I completely forgot about that, which still has Alpay in second place, which is not bad whatsoever. And yeah, under the mediums, as you say. And I think CJ's going to go the same as well. Yes, he is.
Oh,
Arthur! Thrasher! Yep, they've collided. Thrasher's got damage. Only seen one safety car in this race. Remember, tune into Tier 2 later on. That's 12 p.m. Eastern. Wow. 2 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. UK. Milo, what a race that was last season. You came out and prevailed in this race, winning that race.
I mean, there was some false advertising in there. It's 7 p.m. UK. You said 5, but we moved.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what
I'm
could
not
go down in
WTF1,
Tier 2.
sorry.
Casual dig midstream.
Come on, I gotta insult someone for my mistakes.
Well, there you
Come
go.
on, I mean, I guess that works. But no, I mean, regardless, you still have Squid Jr. to pit. He actually may be trying to go hards to softs, which honestly would not be a bad call whatsoever, but it depends on the tire length. And here comes Hissy on Aaron Ocon. Aaron Ocon trying to defend, but can't do so with the amount of straight line speed Hissy's got. Square as well. There's a crash at the back. That's fake fiery. He's off. He's got damage, I think. No, he doesn't. Pitting, though, is Arthur, Blugagi, and Black Raw. They're all going to go to the mediums. Remember, that's not actually Black Raw in the race, but we move. Yeah. I made an oopsie right there. I don't know. I've just...
It's fine.
My brain is fried. I've been up since 3 in the morning, okay? Only... Oh, fake fiery's out in the pit lane. But that's only because of Turkey and this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, this weekend's been crazy for F1 regardless. I mean, usually I'd have the Japan race, the Australia race, the China race. This year would be the Vietnam, but thank God that's not actually going to happen. Bennett actually pitting, though, for his final stop. But I was going to say, he may be going to the softs, so he's going to go to the mediums. 5-second penalty being served. Squid pitting as well, putting Alpay to the race lead.
Stop the count, boys. Aaron Ocon's up to 3rd. Really good, mature drive
Yes,
from
sir.
him, though. Really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it made... Oh, fake fiery's car? Okay. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, it's actually almost hit that. Holy cow. Holy cow. Oh, my God. That was a bit dangerous, and that was a bit scary. I don't even know if Raptor knows what to do here. Yeah, Bennett's picked up a penalty actually coming out of the pit lane. Thrasher is right near him, and Thrasher actually gets out of the way because he has damage, and I think that's probably smarter to do. And Bennett goes up to 8th place, but how much farther he's back from the race leader? 16 seconds. 16 seconds.
And if he gets onto the
although he served...
Sorry.
Although he served that 5-second, there's probably no appealing that after the safety car comes out. Communist has picked up another one, but it's 15.9, 16.1, so he may be able to catch back up and make a late charge to the lead. But let's check the penalties. Alpay, though, has a he has a decent amount of penalties, but keep in mind, Hissy only has the one. So Bennett, though, on the other hand, has actually just one penalty, and I think so does Hissy. So it's really going to matter between Hissy and Bennett on track, depending on how much they keep within Alpay for this race to victory. What are you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, if the likes of Bennett, Squid Jr. catch up to cars at the wrong time, for example, the S section... Oh, hello.
Fruticos, going down the inside of Aaron Ocon, thought better of that. Could have got himself spun round, but is going to have the DRS down to turn 4, as you were saying.
If they catch up to cars at the wrong time, they could get held up, they could get involved in a crash, so, yeah. Oh, endless possibilities there for...
Yeah, not everything is guaranteed. Everyone says, oh, Bennett's going to win this race. Bennett. Look at Singapore. Not everything is guaranteed. It ain't over till it's over.
as Crofty said back in Britain for the British Grand Prix, don't leave until the checkered flag.
Exactly. Exactly. I've left, like, the stream of WR's races before. Sometimes when you were commentating, not gonna lie. And I thought, you know, this is a boring race. This is a boring race. But it ain't over till it's over. And speaking of that, Bennett's picked up damage from contact with Raptor through the S section.
There you go.
And that's costing him right there. There you go. We were speaking about it.
Exactly. He's caught up to him at the wrong time. Got damaged with, you know, it's exactly what I said. I'm just a genius.
Hooded Monster, Florian Foley. Here comes Hooded Monster back at it. Where will he go? He's going to go to the left side, around the outside, actually. So, with that being said, Bennett's gap is 15.1. Gained a second since he came out of the pits. But that's going to be a little bit harder to kind of keep with that wing damage now. You know, not any driver, I don't know what kind of color that wing damage is. Maybe one of the McLaren drivers, if they're watching, they can kind of maybe tell me what damage it is. What kind of color it is, at least in the wing. So we at least know how effective it may be. So, yeah.
As it stands, though, I don't think McLaren will care what colour damage that is. If Bennett can just prevent Squid Jr. from making a charge to the point where you can go and gain 9 points on them, sorry, 10 points on them, they've won the Constructors' Championship for Tier 3. They could have an easy
as you see,
couple
although
weeks.
Bennett's catching, it's just messing him up through the S. 14.7 now. It's going to be harder to catch the race leaders. And this will definitely come down to penalties. It could be Hissy's first win. He got his first win earlier this week in ABS Racing League off of penalties. Just Dylan Boy's got by Thrasher. He's looking onto a points finish. So Alpay actually may win this on track. We saw the race orange wing damage. Okay. So, yeah, that's definitely not effective whatsoever, especially through the S section. And especially probably through the stadium section, I'd say, too. But, again, I speak about it. Squid Jr. Here comes Squid Jr., though, on Bennett. Squid Jr. trying to go through. Going to go down the inside. And almost touching right there. Now, as I speak about it, this race last season in Tier 3 was won off penalties. Rapper Lucas, he won on track. Didn't end up winning at the end of the thing. Did not. Had more penalties on strict corner cutting. It was Davis getting the win and clinching the championship that weekend. McLaren, you know, it's not looking much better for them for 1,000 combined Constructors points as well as even this. The Tier 3 Constructors Championship can be clinched today, but the thing is, they just can't get outscored by at least, I'd say, 10 points at the very maximum. 10 points. They can get outscored by 9, and they'd be able to tie at the end of the season and win the tiebreaker. But yeah, here comes Squid Jr. on the outside, touching with Bennett right there, giving him some room. Squid Jr. still through the inside. Bennett trying to switch back, though, and you could just tell how much that wing damage is hurting him. 15.3 seconds behind that, and he's also battling Squid at the same time, so that don't help either. Aaron Ocon coming in the pits. So, I know Speedy Midget mentioned it. The guys in the front of the pack could have punctures by the end of this race. Aaron Ocon onto softs, which he may be actually trying to avoid punctures. Both Alfa Romeos pitting. Squid Jr. and Bennett again side by side. Bennett may have got a warning from that and may have to yield. It has done so. Yeah, you can just tell that wing damage is really hurting him.
I think he made a clip as well there.
Yeah, might have. Here's Aaron Ocon, who came out of the pits under the back of Communist. He's really gone for the 2-stop this race. Oh, touching! Contact is made. And still down the inside, touching again. Aaron Ocon barged his way through during Communist. Very aggressive to get through for 10th, but he wanted it, and he got it.
Hissy's on a charge now. He's in DR. Ah, no, not for this lap, but he is.
Yes, he is.
Yes, sorry. I forgot the DRS zone was that far back on this straight, but he is in DRS zone now. It's the quicker of the two, so could potentially take this win on track.
Speaking of people who could take wins on track, keep in mind Fruticos. You know, he may not win it off penalties, but he can definitely win it on track. You have Bennett on the back of Squid, can't get by there. You also have Aaron Ocon on the back of CJ. CJ in his return. Can't do nothing there. But we could also see 3 people. Well, depending on penalties, Hissy, Alpe, Fruticos would be the first time people on podium. But, oh, Alpe, little slide for him from the race leader. But Milo, can you do a penalty check and tell me what the penalties look like here? And what kind of put that into math, I guess. And kind of figure out what the net race lead and what the race lead kind of would be right now. Well, with penalties. Kind of butchered that, but you get the point.
So Alper has 9 seconds worth of penalty. Oh, he's just picked up a warning. As I said that, it popped up. Hissy has 3 seconds worth of penalties, so he has a 6-second cushion here. Fruticos has 3, 6, 9, 12 seconds at the moment, with Hooded Monster only on 3. So the Racing Point drivers could trade here for the podium. And as it stands, oh, Hissy's going for the move on track.
Hissy's got it. He's got the race lead. And speaking of that, Alpe is actually being caught by Hooded Monster, which could decide the podium at the end of this too. What about Florian Foley and the rest of the other drivers? I know Fruticos is 12 seconds, which that may matter in the end of things, and Raptor pitting.
Yeah, Florian Foley only has a 3-second penalty, so he's done one on track limits. Squid Jr. though, that's big on those mediums. No penalties. Really good job.
So with that being said, Squid Jr. or Florian Foley could take a podium with their gap. You know, Squid Jr. has to be within 9 seconds. Well, actually, 12 seconds, I'm sorry. And Florian has to be within 9 seconds to get that podium. Right now, they would have the podium over Fruticos. So that's the way things stand.
I think we're starting to see the effects of tyres now. And who has looked after them the most, because Alpe has really started to drop off from Hissy and is now being caught by Fruticos.
I was going to say, ever since that safety car restart, and ever since Hissy picked up his 1 penalty that he got, he's been very consistent. 19-4, 24, 19-6, and then it starts getting really consistent. 20 flat, 23, 21, 21, 20 flat, 20.2, 19-4 on that last lap. Second best lap he put in this race. It's got really consistent, and it's looking very, very likely for a first win for Hissy, but I cannot commentator curse. I cannot.
Big question mark on the tyres still, though.
It is. Squid Jr. and Florian Foley down to the down toward turn 4. Thrasher as well as on Square. Blue Goggy as well as on Communist. On the other hand, Burning Man's left the session. Hooded Monster's actually picked up a 2nd penalty. Podium could change right there. That podium could change. We're going to find out who's going to be on the podium, but right now Hissy would be winning this race, and Squid Jr. gets by Florian Foley right there. I'm going to square pitting onto the softs. John wants to see it. No, stop it. Well, Ferrari last week had no points to their name. The 2nd team this season to do that, sadly behind Racing Point. I have to mention it, so Thrasher picks up a penalty, but sadly behind Racing Point. They're the 2nd team to do it, to pick up no penalty or no points in one race. I think Thrasher's letting Dylan Boy by here. He may be, but they're actually touching wheels right there. I know these two are usually parties for races. This might not end well. Dylan Boy's ahead. CJ Pants as well picking up a penalty, but
out in the
safety car!
Oh no, stop it. That hasn't just happened. Stop it.
CJ pitting. He gets a free choice right there. And these hards could have rather been just saved or just doomed. Oh boy. Tommy Karate already said I already did curse. I think I did. Everybody behind is going to go onto the softs here. Hissy might, and yeah, Thrasher bend. I think that's off the curb right there. Square penalty. And yeah, it is. It is, I'd assume. Or it may have tangled with Dylan, but we're just riding on board with Thrasher for a moment. But onto the softs, everyone else goes.
I wonder what the leaders will do.
Any of the race leaders, do you take the gamble and pit? Do you do it?
Throw a dummy, or, you know, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, more people tuning in. Don't Don't leave until the checker flag is over.
Dummy.
Hissy fakes him.
Alpet is through to coast.
Blugagi's got a drive-through as well. I just want to mention that. That's under the safety car. Hooded Monster, though, stays out.
It depends
Yeah, you
who's
got to stay out here.
It depends who's confident with actually getting their hards to the end. The safety car helps with that. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows what the life is like on these guys' tyres. And Aaron Ocon shoots up back to 5th place.
Oh, my God. Foley could have a big day. That's kind of right. He's on the softs right now. Bennett as well came out of the pits. He's on the softs as well. Blugagi got a drive-through. And yeah, does repair the damage. That's very crucial. He's on the same penalties as Hissy. Just like last season. PTSD, Milo. Flashbacks.
I wouldn't say PTSD, but...
Maybe for me. I mean, holy cow.
There you go.
Commentating that one. Well, Hissy, Fruiticoast, Hooded is the top 3. Let's take a look at penalties. Will be safety car restart, I think, this time.
No.
No, next time. Puncture territory, defending against softs and mediums. That's interesting. Squid and A-Lab mediums. Aaron Ocon pitted not too long ago for the softs. He has the fastest lap right now. He could steal another point. So, let me figure out penalties here. I want to write this down. Yes, I'm that interested in this race. I want to write it down because I don't even know who has what. I'd like to check. Milo, penalty check.
Yep. Right. So the race leader, Hissy, he is still on 1 penalty. However, he does now have 2 warnings, so is very close to getting a second one. With Fruiticoast, he is still 12 seconds and is at risk of making it 15, as he has 2 more warnings. Hooded Monster, he picked up a second penalty very recently, but has no more warnings, so that's 6 seconds for him. Squid Jr., still only a 1 warning. Personal bests before the safety car as well, so he is looking very, very good. Aaron Ocon with 9 seconds worth of penalties.
Not as bad as usual, I will say. And that's an improvement. That's an improvement.
With Alpet, it is 9 seconds, and again, close to making it 12. With Florian Folly, it's only 3 seconds, a 3-second time penalty for him. Bennett has served that, obviously, speeding penalty, and has a 3-second penalty also. And then Raptor
CJ.
Sorry, there's so much popping up here. 3, served that, 6, 9
Safety cars
seconds.
in this lap.
Okay.
And CJ.
And then CJ, 1, 2, 3. So that's 15 seconds for CJ.
Okay, so Bennett, Hissy all have 3 seconds, and you have Squid Jr. on nothing. Here's a safety car restart. Here comes a safety car into the pits. We have a 2-lap shootout at Mexico. Kind of similar to last season, I'm sorry. But the Racing Points as well. Square's got a 5-second penalty. The Racing Points are trying to gang up on Hissy right here. This is the safety car restart. He's kind of backing up the field, but here he goes for the safety car restart. He's away. It's the race leader, Hissy, going ahead. Here comes Fruiticoast in the slipstream, though, into turn 1. He's got the slipstream now. Here comes Squid, though, on the Racing Point of Hooded, but for the race lead, here comes Fruiticoast into turn 1. Down the inside. He's gone through. Here comes Squid.
Oh, there's contact.
Oh.
Aaron Ocon with damage there as well. There's a massive
Bennett goes
concertina
down the order as well. Raptor gaining so many positions after restarting 9th up to 5th. His 9 seconds will definitely matter, though. Contact with Aaron, almost around. Bennett's got a penalty. Crash at the back, that's communist. They're all making contact. Alpay with Bennett. Florian Foley with Raptor. They're side by side right here.
Oh, there's contact between them.
Alpe as well gets by Aaron.
And another
Alpe
penalty for
3-second
him.
penalty. Here comes Hissy back at it for the lead.
A DNF for Florian Folly.
It's Fruticos trying to win on track with Hissy behind, but Squid Jr. has no penalties right now. Has nothing. Final lap. Hissy's gonna need to do something if he wants to win this race, because he needs to have himself get by Fruticos and have Squid have something go wrong on this last lap. Keep in mind, punctures could happen for the top 4. Alpe in the back of Hooded Monster. Keep in mind as well, Foley gone out of the race. He had only 3 seconds. Bennett as well, only 3 seconds. So penalties could decide to make Bennett be on the podium, but here's Alpe down the inside. Around the outside, actually. Contact! Again! Here comes Bennett back at it.
Oh, Squid's
Bennett's on the outside. He's being squeezed. Squid's got by Hissy as well.
This could mean the championship goes on to USA, and it feels very bizarre saying that from what we saw at the start of the race. Oh my god, Bennett, Alpe, and Hooded Monster.
3 wide.
Oh!
Oh, touching. But you have fireworks and flames going off in the final corner. Contact at the back. Blue Gage's going off. But Fruticos, first race in Tier 3. It's an on-track win, but it's going to be Squid Jr. for the 2nd time this season winning the race. Hissy on podium, Bennett on podium, Hooded Monster 4th. And the championship as well has been clinched by McLaren.
Oh, wait. Did he get fast? No? Yes? No?
Yes?
Yes?
McLaren.
Oh yeah, communist, of course. Oh my god, sorry, I feel rude. I forgot he was there.
The pain for Hissy, oh my lord, I feel bad. I kind of cursed him. Holy cow.
Oh yeah.
I really do feel bad.
I can't believe that.
And at first, that should have been his win, if I'm being honest. That should have been. Well, wow. Yes, McLaren has won the Tier 3 Constructors Championship, with that being said, unofficially. Black Raw, of course, had no penalties, so he's going to be demoted down, which will put Aaron Ocon in the points, pending on post-race penalties. Wow. Right?
That was something.
Tell me about it.
It should have been what happened last season in ARL. Should have been what happened in Tier 2 last year. It's better to get redemption now than ever. But what can I say? That race was amazing. I'd like to thank Thrasher and the Academy Award of wrecking out on the last few laps. The first safety car kind of caught me off guard. 11 laps in on the run on hards, so I knew I had to stay out. I was lucky to keep within 5 seconds of Bennett for about however so many laps. But overall, it was probably one of the better races of the season. There were battles everywhere. I don't have really much to say, besides we finally did it. We got our second win of the season at a track I very dislike. So we get to cross that off the list. So, and it's good for the team too. Get a little oomph and stuff. But
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
Singapore?
oh, not Singapore, Baku. You know what I mean. Don't listen to me.
No, I mean the
My
game.
the what? Yeah, my
The
head.
game.
Oh, oh, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah, it was overall fun race to drive. Um, I don't know how I was able to keep no penalties at race because I know this is probably one of the harder tracks to not get a penalty at.
Yeah.
And I was just lucky.
Well,
Fruticos had like disqualifying time penalties. Uh,
yeah.
but
Um,
sucks for Fruticos because he put on a good drive too. But what can you do?
I must be sounding Xbox Live. Thank you very much. But now
Yep.
I was actually gonna say, well, with that being said, I want to ask, last season you did the same exact strategy in Tier 2, and
Mhm.
you get redemption for it. How happy are you with that win?
Very happy because I knew if I tried the tier 2 strategy again, it might work because this tier isn't as competitive as tier 2. I want to say it's about the same, but uh, I think it is definitely a big redemption from how it worked last year. Uh, and the strategy overall was just really good. Um, I want to say I like to thank the team, but they didn't do much. So I'd like to thank Rapid Extreme for being my engineer for about 2 laps this race. Uh, he did somewhat stuff, but that's about all he did. He didn't do much. So besides chew cereal in my ear, but it's really, I guess, it's just good. It just feels good to get back into first and how you want to be, right? You don't want to be, ooh, I got fifth, yeah. That's usually how I
Well,
go about my days.
yeah. Congratulations to you on the win. Milo, do you
Hmm.
have any questions before I go to Hissy?
Yeah, you've spoken emotions. Let's talk the race because for you, no penalties. Uh, pretty sure the only driver to do that that
I think there was
finished.
another
So,
one.
oh, okay. If so, I missed it then. But yeah, did you just find them easy or what was
Um,
going on?
I'm so slow on the track that I can't go off track. So I've learned that I am not. I learned that I can't get penalties that much because I'm always on the track. I'm never really off of it unless I get pushed off or something. Uh,
Yeah, only one warning.
yeah, just one warning, which was quite stupid by the. Um, so I would have been warning free, but it doesn't matter. It just what matters is I got no penalties and everyone else did, so they suck. I did good. Uh, but yeah, it sucks to win off of penalties because you'd rather win, um,
On track.
yeah, on track. But that's what F1 is. This game needs to be fixed. Uh,
I think everyone could agree on that.
yeah, I think everyone agrees on that thing. But anyway, overall race was good. I thought it was a blast to drive. I was originally gonna miss it because I had somewhere to be, but
Yeah.
I guess I'm glad Raptor talked me into doing it. So I guess I'd like to thank him.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. I don't have much else to say
Oh,
about it. But if you have any other
AlphaTauri could come home.
questions,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was gonna make clear that AlphaTauri could come home in second at the end of the season with the constructor standings.
pretty good.
With that being said, McLaren now have clinched the constructor standings.
McLaren
And
is
clinched the championship
sweating
there.
too hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get Hissy in here.
Alright.
My ARL streams account is kind of glitched with him, where I can't hear him or can't invite him to parties or can't even add him as a friend. So I'm gonna try to get Hissy through here. Hissy, are you there? Hello. Kind of a weird way of doing it, but the ARL streams account, I don't know if you've noticed, has kind of glitched with your account for some reason. I don't know why that is. But it's kind of glitched with your account. Well, once again,
Right.
it's heartbreak. It literally is heartbreak. Tell me about that.
Uh, yeah, that was so. I was actually so sure that was my win, but well, I actually thought about 6 laps before the end. I was like, see if a safety car comes out, I'm gonna be well. I still thought I'd be okay, but I didn't know Squid didn't have any penalties. I had I went wide going into the stadium section, and I think I actually lost time, but the game still gives you a penalty. Like I went wide by about like a fraction, and it gave me a penalty. So yeah, that was annoying. But I didn't want to pit at the end because, well, for the fact that the two guys behind me hadn't pitted and they were on hards as well, and they both had penalties. So I was like, well, folk are going to have to get through them first, and then, they can then get to me. But yeah, my tyres were kind of gone at the end, so it was hard to defend. Yeah, pretty gutting. It's just one of these things. But but I'll still take second. I think I started ninth or something. But coming back from that's pretty good. It's not my best track, albeit I did have pretty decent pace. But I was just trying to not get a penalty, but it didn't work out in the end up. But yeah, that late race safety car really screwed me up because I had a pretty decent gap to the guy behind me before it, or well, it was roughly like a second and a half.
Yeah, and you were all good on penalties
And,
besides the 3-second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just it was annoying, but hey ho, but it doesn't matter. Congratulations to Squid though. He obviously had a pretty decent race, no penalties as well, so that's good. So well done to him. And whoever got third, I don't know who got third, but yeah, fair play to Squid though. Good race from him. Good battle at the end as well.
Oh, so close again. Just 5 laps, 4 or 5 laps away from your first win. Just, again, another one that slipped away. When is it coming?
Yeah.
When is the first one coming?
I don't know. Hopefully soon. What's the next race? Is it USA the next one, I think?
USA and then Brazil to end the season.
Oh dear God.
USA and Brazil. I think the one, well, I'd say out of those two tracks, Brazil's probably my best track out of them two. But USA's okay, but I'm not too bad. But well, I think given that I just thought Mexico was one of my worst races and I managed to get a second, so I don't know. But
And you said this race was going to come down to penalties. You were right.
Yeah. No, well, because I think I checked about halfway through the race, or just kind of throughout the race, and whoever was behind me, they were like, they've got 12 seconds of penalties, and the person in front was 9 seconds of penalties. I was like, well, I've only got 3. Obviously, he managed to pass me at the end. My tyres were pretty gone, which wasn't good, but that was all basically down to penalties. So, but I really enjoyed that race. So I thought it was a really fun race. I really had a good time. So yeah, that was good at least. At least I can take it that way from it. It wasn't the win, but it was still a good race. So I'll take it.
Yeah.
Points. I think that still keeps me in. I think I'm just in second. I think
Yes.
ahead of Squid.
Yeah.
I think just about. So yeah, that's good though.
I was also going to mention congratulations to Fruticos as well, who picked up his first points in ARL. But Milo, do you have any questions for Hissy that I could have him have you ask? Because I know he won't be able to hear you, but I could at least tell him what your question is. Because
So this is regarding the battle for second place in the Drivers' Championship. It's between Hissy, Raptor, and Squid, of course. With Squid's result and Raptor's fight through the field, is this going to go on until the final race?
Could you hear that?
I think I just about heard it. Yeah. I hope it does go into the final race. I think we're all pretty much equal on pace. I think. So hopefully, we should be able to continue the battle through to USA and then Brazil. Obviously, it would be some good viewing to watch us have a wee battle. So so hopefully we can continue through the last 2 races and battle it for second. I'm looking forward to it anyway. So I hope they are as well. So should be good to watch and a good clean battle hopefully.
Alrighty, well, Congratulations on a podium. Oh, so close for a win. And yeah. Thank you for
Thanks.
the interview. Yeah. Well, Milo, that's another race in the books. 100th race for ARL. What did you kind of think of that? And what did you kind of think of that race previewing into Tier 2? What are you looking forward to the most in the next 30 minutes?
Oh,
yeah,
hello,
you turn
there's
it
two
down.
of you.
Yes, I see that.
Okay,
I need to
that's
turn
all
it down.
Yeah, that was not a bad 100th race. Some decent racing in there, and to be honest, the track limits weren't as bad as I thought and kind of predicted. So hopefully that's better into Tier 2, and same goes along with the racing. Um, I don't care who wins today. I just want a good show. Something good for the championship as well between the two McLarens. Keep an eye out for that. And very, very soon you might see the McLarens clinch that combined constructors championship.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, they can clinch the Tier 2 Constructors Championship. They also can clinch the Tier 2 Drivers Championship by a McLaren driver, because if Sam and the guys behind as well, McLaren, do not win today or do not outperform them, simply, McLaren, one of their drivers, are going to go clinch the championship in the next 2 weeks. Can't be clinched today, if I'm correct. Yeah, it can't be clinched today. But yeah, simple way to put it. But hey, that's really it from today's race. I hope you enjoyed today's race. Tune into Tier 2, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UK. Got that right this time. Yeah, we'll see you then for Tier 2's race at Mexico. And hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you then.
Sayonara.